Good morning, everybody. Hope you can hear me out there. I just kind of sat down, taking a look at what's going on, pulling up some news sites, trying to get a idea what's happening here. Obviously, Ukraine and Russia are big news. At the moment, Russia is scaling up their aggression towards Ukraine. And they also did something with their nuclear stuff last night. They put it on alert or they made some move that I think has hit the markets. Looking at just some headlines here. I'm going to jump into the chart. I'm not seeing anything that really jumps out besides what I just mentioned. They are having talks, though, so I should have said that. So Russia and Ukraine are having talks in Belarus. And I think around those talks, we may see some chop. If little news nuggets get leaked out, markets are probably going to react to that. You know, if Ukraine walks out of the negotiations, nothing happens, I think they'll send markets down. I doubt there'll be any positive news coming out today out of those talks. So let's look at the chart real quick. We'll start over here. We can look at a weekly. Let's look at a weekly chart. Okay, before I dive into that, let's look real quick at news coming out this week. It's Monday. It's always good on Monday, just kind of get a heads up what's going on, what type of economic releases we can expect to be looking at this week. Pull up a pen, so just jot stuff down on here. I don't see any ISMs coming out. These times are Eastern times. Eastern times over here. Okay, if I can write that, EST. I don't know why they're non-central, but they're not. Eastern time. So we've got the ISM stuff's coming out at 9 o'clock. So that's something to keep an eye on. If you want to read about it right there, markets might react to that a little bit. I don't think that's going to be too big of a market mover, particularly with everything else that's going on. But you may see prices spike around that, so you might want to just be flat at 9 Central Time tomorrow. A couple things are jumping out. Powell testifying on Wednesday. Oh, this is on Tuesday, so there's nothing coming out today. I'm sorry, this is Tuesday, so there's nothing coming out today. This tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time will be something to keep an eye on. Wednesday, Powell's testifying. That's something we need to keep an eye on. Price will be, flat. It'll spike around statements, so it's something you really need to be cautious trading. I would not be holding a position while he's testifying. You could trade reaction to it, but it'll be probably pretty choppy. Initial jobless claims come out 7:30 a.m. on Thursday. That'll be a precursor for NFP. NFP comes out on Friday. NFP is the biggest economic news release affecting the markets. It comes out the first Friday of every month. So we have NFP on Friday, jobless claims Thursday, Powell testifying Wednesday, Thursday, some ISM stuff coming out. Also some ISM stuff coming out here on Thursday, it looks like. If you want to come to this site, I use this one, FX Street Economic Calendar. You can just come to filter, just choose United States, and then I just choose medium and high, and then apply the filter. And then that gives you a nice clean calendar to look at for the week. All right, so we looked at that. Great. Okay, now let's look over here at the chart, what we got going on. Man, yesterday when I saw this thing, this is a weekly chart. Doesn't this thing look bearish? Or not bearish, bullish from last week? That looks super bullish, doesn't this candle from last week? Bottom of the band, very nice bullish candle. But if we look, this looks very bullish. And what happened? We broke that low way down. So I don't know. These weekly candles aren't giving us good reads. I mean, this looks bearish. We did break way lower. This looks bullish. I don't know. If we break this trend line, are we going to start moving up? I don't think so. I don't know. But it's just good to take a look at the weekly. It's not really giving me much, to be honest. Last night, for intraday trading, last night we had a massive gap down on the open last night. we opened last night here, closed last week. There's a huge gap right there in the market. That was like 500 points or something, and then price just shot down 13,900 about. Shot down 220 points within just a couple of minutes. I mean, I was watching the thing. I didn't take any trades, but if I can find it over here, I mean, you can see how much this moved right here when the market opened. Let's see if I can zoom in on that a little bit. I mean, it was a massive move to the downside on the open last night. Yeah, 13.9 all the way down to 13,700 basically. So 200 points in a matter of a minute and 20 seconds. So that is the volatility of the Nasdaq. Big move down. I was looking at last night. I was looking for this trend line to break, and I thought about taking a short, but it's not a good idea to trade this thing at night. For me, other people probably do it, but not for me. And I've explained that before, why I don't like trading the overnight session anymore. So now we've got bit of an up channel going on in pre-market. Bit of an up channel. We can see a pretty clear up channel that we have. Market price is moving up. Delta is positive coming in. So we're on this up channel. Kind of jumping ahead of myself here. So on the daily, we have that big gap down. We've got this down channel on the higher time frame. So lower time frames, 500 volume, we're kind of in this up channel. Higher time frames, we're in a down channel over here on the daily. I don't know if these trend lines are actually valid anymore. I'm not seeing price reacting to them the way that I think they should. So, we've kind of poked through. We've closed above it. We had no real follow through. Over here, we spiked through it. I'll leave them on here for now, but they may be expiring. Trend lines expire. They don't last forever. So you got to know when they're still valid and when price is reacting to them, keep them up. But at some point, they're not going to be valid anymore. So I'll keep that up there, but it's not really giving me any good signals or anything to trade off of at the moment. Let's move over to the 4-hour, move down a little bit. Still got one thing I want to do here is let's move this up to the 20 SMA on the daily at 14,400. Let's see where that is. And that's interesting that the 20 SMA on the daily is right where the upper band on the 4-hour is. So that I think is going to be a pretty good big area for us. Price may want to get sucked up into that. We may, start breaking some highs here and price gets moved up into 14,340. 13,350, maybe even this 200 SMA may start to come down, and this might become a big area of confluence. So I'm going to leave that up on that chart. In terms of support, I mean, we spiked through this 20 SMA here, which is a bullish sign that we came down, spiked through it, we pinned through it, and now price is kind of moving back up. So that's something to keep in mind, but the only thing I'm really seeing on that 4-hour chart is that level up here to keep on the charts. Okay, over on the hourly, moving down, went weekly, daily, 4-hour, moving down to the hourly. These are weekly volume profiles over here on the hourly. So this has just been generating since last night. This was all of last week's volume profile. A couple things to note on this. One is point of control has come up here. Towards the value area high. Typically that means price is going to want to move away. However, this volume profile is not really established yet. It's only been calculating, no sessions have been open when it's been calculating. Well, the Tokyo session, European session as well, but no US session has been open since it's been calculating. So I would take this with a grain of salt here. I can see this breaking this resistance and then coming up to 14,200, which would close our gap, the weekend gap, and then hit the upper band. So that would be, a possible, if you wanted to trade this thing long, I think that this would be a possible area that I could pick up a scalp on it. Because like I said, we are, in this up channel in the overnight. But the gap down over the weekend was, the gap down on last night's open is a really bearish sign. But you know, the news in Ukraine, all this stuff is just changing so much. It's difficult to really get a firm read on it. All right, so where could be some support be? 20 SMA down here. We also have VWAP down here, which is now right at this trend line. We can see that if that's coming through. I hope that's coming through on the screen a little bit. We can see VWAP. This green line is VWAP, and we can see how it's right at that trend line. So this is going to be a big area of confluence down at 13,900. LVN in here, which is right with the 20 SMA on the hourly chart. And then we've got this resistance point up here where I think if price could get through, and we would just be looking for delta on that to confirm a bullish move. And we would probably, you could probably target this upper band up here or the upper this resistance trend line here. And that doesn't look like a lot on here, but if it breaks 14,075, you could maybe get 15 points out of that. And I'm just a scalper, so that's kind of what I look at. So I could probably get 10 or 15 points maybe in here. And then you could look at maybe possibly a bigger move. Maybe we come up through it and we use the back side of it as support and bounce up to 14,200. That's a potential move. And the only reason I'm looking to go, kind of bullish on the thing, even though for today, overall market conditions are bearish, is just looking at Delta coming in. It's positive 1,200. This was just such a massive move overnight, 500 points. We're already down 1%. I think it may want to come up and then come back down. Of course, I don't really know. These are just levels that I'm marking out that I may be able to trade off of. I couldn't, you don't want to listen to me if we're bullish or bearish today. These would just be some levels that I've got marked out. Again, breaking this high, it may want to pop up into here. We come down and break this trend line, then I think it's going to fall into the abyss down here somewhere. But this is just so overextended. I mean, we would be down like 3% or something today. I wish I had a little thing that told me how much down it would be, like a rule or something. If anybody knows an indicator like that, let me know. That'd be super nifty. I would like to have that. 5 minute over here looks bearish, top of the band. Bearish candle. Might want to come down on this. Market's going to open in 6 minutes. There was one other thing I thought I wanted to point out, but it is escaping me at the moment. So yeah, I guess that would be my trading plan. Break pre-market highs, take a pop up into here, break this support level, and take some bearish action on Delta moving down. Or, price comes down here, we hit VWAP, we hit this trend line, why not buy it back up? I don't know. That's what a better trader would do. I always try to break I always wait for the levels to break, so that's just what I have found success with. Yeah, I think it was down like 3.2% overnight. Yeah, I think you're right. J Trades, I appreciate you throwing that out there. That's the other thing I was going to throw out. I forgot to mention. I wanted to look at what the European markets, or how down the European markets are. Where's the FTSE? See it there. 1.3%. DAX 2.2. 3.2. It just kind of gives you an idea of how much we might move today. Let's look at Asia. Asia's recovered a little bit. Oil prices leap about 4%. Every time I'm like, man, I should buy oil, I'm always like, nah, it's overextended. The move's done. And then I always see it's like jumped up even more. As soon as I buy it, though, there'll be some like relief that sends it back down. So I'm not going to chase it up at that price. You can see what yen's doing. Yen's stronger than the dollar. Yen is a good indicator of risk on, risk off. Aussie and New Zealand dollar are also good risk on, risk off currency pairs. So Aussie dollar is weaker against the US dollar by just a little bit, not much, just a little bit. It's not crazy. Now it's unchanged, but if you wanted to trade one of these, you could trade Euro JPY. Euro looks stronger than the dollar. Yen looks stronger than the dollar. Oh, sorry, USD looks stronger than the dollar, yet yen looks stronger than the dollar. You could try to maybe that's how I used to trade. Try to find a really strong pair against a really weaker pair on some sort of fundamental news. But I don't really trade Forex anymore, so. Okay, so there's the new. Oh, we could actually look at the headlines. We've got a few minutes here. So the ruble is obviously tanking 30%. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing is Ukraine, right? And Russia ratcheting up its military campaign. So we've got about 2.5 minutes before the market opens. It's a good time to get some coffee if you want some coffee before the market opens. How do you have the number percent below your chart? So that's a third-party indicator. I think I post this almost every day, but let me see if I can find it again. There it is. It is free. I have this here. There you go. You can go there, download that bad boy for free. I'm not affiliated with any of those people, whoever this is. Position display indicator. But yeah, it works pretty well. There's also a little video there on how to install a third-party indicator or app on NinjaTrader if you don't know how to do that. So I'm just trading one contract again today, guys. One contract on the live streams. It's about all my nerves can handle when I know people are watching. I still have my Williams percent range up. I almost took some trades last night using that Williams percent range strategy, but I didn't take any. Sat on my hands. I did a couple nights ago. I can't remember, Thursday night maybe. It must have been Thursday night. I took a couple trades using that strategy of when we try. Especially it works well, I think, in the overnight session where you've got markets trending. So last night I thought we were trending bearish, and then you just wait for it to become overbought and wait for bearish price action and go short on it. So you just look for like a bearish candle on the 1 minute, or even like a break of a little uptrend. So it's going to show here. So let's see if I can zoom in. I got a couple minutes. Thing. Where is it? Try to go back to the market open. So pen. Big bearish action. Market becomes. This isn't a good one. We hit the upper band. You know, market becomes overbought somewhere. You hit the upper band. You get like a bearish candle on it, and then you short it down to the other side of the band. That doesn't look like a lot because it's such a big move, but that is 1364. You know, 10 points or so, short at 10 points. The one that I was about to get in, I think, was a 20-point move. I didn't take it. It ended up working. But like I said before, I don't really like, here the market just opened. Yep, now we're getting that move up. I don't really like trading that overnight because what happens is you take a loss. Dang it. You take a loss and then you're either like trading to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, or you know, you can't sleep because you're like, I took that loss, and it just kind of stinks. So I'm watching price move up here. We did get that pop through this resistance level. It may want to move up to the top of this trend line, but what I'm seeing here is Delta. It's not really moving up. Again, it is the open, so it's probably got room up to 30 up there, I would think. It's the open, so you could buy it here, think it's gonna pop. It could also just whip right back down on you. The Nasdaq moves so fast. I see Delta there holding, moving up. No, now it's popping down. Gonna look at a 500 tick quickly. Go up now. Buy it up here. Probably get it out up here if it wants to come up. And what I'll do is just watch Delta. I may need to close out on this. I knew not to get in on that, you know? Looks like we might get that move. Add to it. I can see all that Delta coming through. Price percent. This, what? I may need to close out on this. This thing's gonna roll down on me. We're using the back side of that area now as support. I'm just gonna close out of everything there. You were asking about the price percentage move with is show below your volume chart. You mean this thing right there? Is that the one you're talking about? Oh yeah, this is the wrong one. Sorry. All right. That is another one that I used to use. Net change display. On T8. Let's see here. This thing is called net change display. Net change display indicator. So it's called net change display, and you could probably Google for NinjaTrader 8. Sometimes I'm able to find it. Right now I'm not having much luck. Yeah, sorry, I sent you the link for the wrong one there. Oh, now we're getting that move, aren't we? Mm-hmm. I can't find that thing anymore. Wow, was that standard? Oh, good. Well, I'm glad I'm not looking for it anymore. Wow, chop up here. I'm seeing Delta moving a little bit lower. I could have gotten more out of this trade. I just got back. I got out here because I don't know. Delta looked like it wasn't going to pop for me. And on the open, I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to want to come up to this point, but I can't endure this. You know, I can't endure a 35-point drawdown, 40-point drawdown. I would have to close out, then you take a loss, and you get back in here, and then maybe it pops down some more, and it's just choppy. Looking for a good signal here. I can't get, I think it's gonna pop, but I can't get at the top up here. I just can't bring myself to do it. Ooh. It's gonna go. It's okay, Maria. I don't mind. I don't mind asking. I could have waited to try to look for it. I didn't have to look for it now. I just can't. But it's a native indicator. I don't know because it's in my thing because it's installed. But I don't ever. I thought I had downloaded it from somewhere, so maybe I've been sharing the wrong link because somebody asked me about that before. This thing is like, before you know it, it's going to be up at that 1430 level, and you're gonna be like, "What happened? How'd it get up there?" Just kind of inches its way up there. Very small range on the open, 25-point range. I think Ukraine talks, Russia, Ukraine talks, and Belarus. Markets are kind of hesitant. They want to see what's going to happen with it. What time is it in Ukraine right now? Oh, it's in the afternoon, right? Anybody in Europe? Anybody in Europe on the chat? It's almost 5 o'clock in Ukraine. This is where you probably want to buy if you were a better trader. Try to take it back up, but that's not really how I trade. So I would actually be looking for this to break. See if we couldn't get a move down to 16-ish. Markets may be watching Delta. Delta's moving lower. I've got my finger on the trigger to close out. If I'm not even really looking at the candles right now. I'm just watching Delta. My target price would be, let's see how this 1 minute closes. I need to see how you close 1 minute. Yeah, maybe I need to get out on that. I'm gonna take a loss on that. That's too bullish. But you know what? It's one of the good things. I can always get back in. All right, down to 32. Maybe all the way down to 20, 25. I'm using this 20 SMA down here. This looks pretty bearish to me at the moment. Right down to that 30 level. Get out there. 77 bucks, right where I started. I got out here at 30. I like these 30 levels, and I saw this delta popping up a little bit. I just want to take my profit, and we'll see if it wants to come up here and give me another bearish signal to go short at 60. It's the 20 SMA on the 1 minute, and I think that might provide some resistance. 50 level. Look at a 500 tick overnight volume. Oh, glad I got out when I did. And again, I just exited because I saw these two delta, you know. Saw that, and I saw these wicks, and I know 30 levels are always kind of where it's at on this thing, so I just decided to exit as a scalper. That's all I need. Now we're gonna get a move. We break higher. I don't know. Up a whopping $77. I'm watching that 1 minute chart over there to see how that candle closes in 9 seconds over here. Looks pretty bearish, huh? That looks pretty bearish, but Delta maybe doing one of these. Chop it. 48. Is 48 a short? Gonna mark out the 20 SMA on the 5 minute down here. Just watching this thing. I don't want to get chopped up. I don't want to short it right here, and then it bounces off that 20 SMA on the 5 minute, and then shoots up another 50 points on me. This just looks too choppy at the moment. Let's see if something wants to give here. Sometimes it's good to know when not to trade. I'm just not seeing like a, you could try to break all this support, at this support level here, but then, and take it down to 70. See how this 5 minute closes in 30 seconds. That's just very choppy. Looks bearish. 5 minute. I like for this 5 minute to close below the 20 SMA. I really want to start getting bearish on it. We can also see that's a 200 SMA on the 1 hour chart right there. Areas of confluence, those are always good to point out, where we have multiple levels of support and resistance coming together. We also have the bottom of the band on the 1 minute there. We have this trend line, counter trend line. Anybody else take any trades today? Any good ones? That's looking bullish. It was looking bearish. Now it's looking bullish. You know what that's called? That's called the chop. That's where you chopped it. Chop, chop. just too choppy. I think these Ukraine-Russia talks are, I mean, we're not even anywhere near one of these. We haven't come down to any of these support level. UAP, nothing. There's something here. Maybe we break this, the 20 SMA on the 5 minute. We pop down into that. It also hasn't really completed this rotation to the upside, though, I don't think. May not want to. May just not do that. So, are we gonna try to take this scalp in here? Watch Delta. Delta's still positive though. Too choppy for me. Scalp 3 points. I think that's about where I'm at. 3 point scalp. Not even. Yeah, about 3 points. 3.5 points. Although this was a big, I mean, this was not too bad of a move. 47 down to 34, so that was about 12 points. So that's not too bad, but you know, we took the stop on this one. You just got to take your stop sometimes. I didn't want to hold on to this. You know, we shorted it here at 56, got out at 67, so took a 9-point stop, or 56 to 60. Yeah, 11 point stop. But you know, you don't want to be in. You see this bullish candle here on the delta. You break resistance. You know, this could be support. Or sorry, you break support. This could hold as support, and then price comes all the way back up here, and you're holding on to a loser, and you just get out. It should have popped on it. The move eventually came, but all right. So this is starting to look bearish again, right? It was looking a bit bullish. Now it's looking bearish. Talk about it. This is choppy. Oh, may not be a trade here today. Looking bearish again. These 1 minutes are looking bearish. Look at an overnight volume profile. Yeah, I would say if we break the support level, we kind of fall back into this volume node down to 76 or so probably. I need that level to break though. So we're just watching it. And again, we are in an up channel. You know, I don't like when you get these conflicting signals, like we're in an up channel. Delta's positive, but we're negative on the day. And a lot of that has to do, the negative on the day has a lot to do with gapping down so much on the open last night. Now we're getting this move up, but Delta is not. You can see here, price moved higher. Delta did not move higher. Delta divergence, bearish sign. Looking at the Ukraine-Russia talks, like how the Ukrainian delegate has a hat on. Just, I don't know why he's wearing a hat. Baseball cap. Here, I'm looking at the Fox News over here. There's the Ukrainian guy, just wearing his baseball cap. He just got up and didn't want to. I'm sure he's got other things going on, but I'm sure the Russians take that as a sign of disrespect. I don't think anything's going to come out of those talks. At least not today. Maybe on Thursday after Russia has pounded the heck out of Ukraine. I think it's just a tactic so Russia can keep doing what it's doing. Can Delta indicator be added to Thinkorswim? I don't know. I think I've actually looked for that before. And I have not been able to find it. I'm sure you could find a cumulative delta indicator for Thinkorswim, a third-party indicator. You know, all these trading platforms typically support third-party indicators. So there's always somebody out there who's trying to make one. And you know, I put on my channel a free one for NinjaTrader. If you needed to, you could have NinjaTrader up in one window and then Thinkorswim up in the other. I oftentimes do that if I'm trading equities. Now, how do you use cumulative delta, and when are times you don't use it? I use it, I look for delta divergence sometimes, like we just pointed out, where price is moving higher, but delta is not moving higher. We saw that right here, where we looked at this strong move. Delta did not move higher, so it did not look that bullish to me. I look at to confirm areas of support and resistance. For instance, if we come down to, let's say, I wanted to buy at this support level, but I'm rather actually looking to, okay, I'll just tell you what I'm looking at it now. I'm looking for this level to break, the support level to break, and for price to move down to this area. And so I'm going to be looking for delta to follow that price action. So I'll be looking for delta to start making new lows as well. As price moves lower, I'm going to be making sure delta is moving lower too. I use it also in the morning. When I come in, I look to see if delta is negative or positive to give me kind of a bullish or bearish bias. Same with the percent to see, just as this is negative on the day, it looks bearish. I look at delta. Delta is positive on the day. It looks bullish on delta. I use it all sorts of ways. If I'm looking to, yeah, again, like if I was looking to, like if we're ranging, let's say I think we're ranging here. I'm not really a range trader, but if you thought we were ranging in this, price moves up here. Let's watch delta, see what delta's doing. Delta moves up here too, and then we start to see bearish action on delta. Delta starts to move down. This might confirm your short up here or confirm your buy. Delta is not a lagging indicator. Delta is real time and sales data. So that's real time data. It's not like RSI or any of those things. It's actual time and sales that are coming through. So it's level 2 data basically. You know what level 2 is? It's just looking at orders that are coming through on the exchanges. And I could actually put a link here. If you wanted to find out more, cumulative delta. Let's see. We got price moving higher, huh? There you go. That might help you. I can probably explain it way better than me. All right, so now we've got price moving up. So we've got this higher high here. It looks bullish up to that 30 level. It would have been interesting if I would have held this. My first trade, remember I took that first trade of this, and I thought it was going to pop up to 30. We finally got that move, but look at all that drawdown you'd have to endure. 60 point, 70 point drawdown to make 40 points, 20, 35 points. I'm a scalper. I'm not holding on to the thing too long. Where's the upper channel on this thing? So again, we've got also the upper end of the band here up at 14,215. If it wants to try to move up to that, I don't know if it will. But there are times it doesn't perform well. I wish I could give you a really good answer on that. There's sometimes, yeah, I honestly personally find it doesn't do very well after 10:30 in the morning when the market kind of slows down. I don't find it as reliable. Now we can see delta moving down quite a bit. I find it doesn't work that well then. I find it works. I don't know times when it doesn't work well. What I can tell you is I find it that it works very well 8:30 a.m. Central Time to 10:30 a.m. Central Time. That's when I find it works the best. So look, this looks like a short to me. I'm really tempted to take a short as this falls back into this value area. However, we are in this uptrend. Do I really want to counter trend trade it? We are in an up channel. It's you can see it. It's clear up channel, making higher highs. And I've got my short bias on it, which I've had for quite a bit. I'm just not finding any good setup trades here for me. This one would have been fine if I would have held the first one 55 down to 35, 20 points. I probably would have called it a day on just on that one trade. Should we try to short it at 88? The anticipation of price moving back lower. Try to get maybe a few points out of it. Scalp. Looking kind of bearish. Delta's dropping a little bit. I'm just wondering if price wants to now fall back into the range that it's been doing. We move higher, I'm going to take this off. I don't see Delta moving super aggressive higher though. I'm not going to buy it. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, you can see it kind of opened all the way up here now. I just can't bring myself to buy it. I didn't take that off. I just can't bring myself to buy it, particularly up here. Well, Delta's not moving higher. I mean, do we let it go all the way? Do we let it ride up to the top of the band? Up here at 14,215, 14,200. Do you think you can get all the way up here? I'm going to keep chit-chatting. Before I know it, it's going to be up here. Close the gap. Remember the gap we talked about? Fill the gap. There. Ugh. Yes, Delta's strong. Yeah, I should probably look at what the other indices are doing. Let's see here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Russell looks pretty strong. The ES Delta is like 15,000. I don't really know how the ES Delta, I'm not too familiar with it. So, but it is definitely positive. Russell's is a little negative, but Russell looks super strong. I think this thing's going to keep going up here. This is too bullish. 57. Wonder if some news came out. God, the thing is, it looks so bullish, but Delta is not making a new high on this. I can't bring myself to buy it, guys. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't want to get stuck up here. You know, that looks super bullish, popping 50. You get in on it, now you're down 15-point drawdown. You know what? When in doubt, go get some coffee. I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to be right back. All right, guys, back here. Oh, I'm still waiting for this 20 estimated break, but my thing is like, if it does come all the way down here, we break that. I guess we broke session lows. Ugh, I don't know. I can totally see it coming down here, spiking through this, and then coming back up. We now have broken the 20 SMA on the 1 minute, but we did that before over here, and we got no follow through on it. I mean, okay, so let's just, if you're just thinking about it, we're in this up channel. What you want to do is you want to wait for the pullback, a bearish, hey, morning, Eddie, a bearish structure to form, draw the trend line, you wait for that bearish structure to break, and then you buy it back up. I'm looking, my eyes just keep going short on it. Thanks, BDM. I appreciate that. I appreciate, yeah, you taking any trades this morning, BDM or Eddie? Look at Delta. Look at this thing. This thing is out of its mind. Look at Delta. Green, bullish structure here. Delta is now making, or sorry, price is now making new low. Could this be? So I would say is that this could be like a two-legged pullback type situation where you've got, we are in a session uptrend overnight and regular session for the last 35 minutes. We've got this little bearish channel. Now, if we can get this follow through on this 1 minute, back to the other end of the band or back down to one of these levels that we've got marked out, it's interesting. Sorry, I'm thinking and trying to get my pen and everything on here to show. I don't know why I've got this level here. What I want to do is right there at the bottom of that band would be probably a pretty big support area. So price, we have the first leg pull back, and then the other leg. So it's an A, B, C, D pattern back down to this level, which is also the uptrend line and the 20 SMA on the 5 minute. We'd wait for it to come down here, hit this area, and then break this trend line to buy it back up. Ernesto's saying that some of the big fangs are coming down. Ricardo, I wish I spoke Portuguese. My wife speaks Portuguese. Super chape. Super chape. Watching Delta. If this Delta was bearish structure right here, just this little bit, I would be looking to take a short at 70 down to here. But because we're making higher lows on Delta and higher highs on Delta, I don't want to take a short. Yeah, it's super chap fest. Thanks, Eddie. I love it too, man. It makes it super encouraging. I hope people keep joining in. I don't think today is going to be any fireworks, though, guys. Boom, look at Delta busting through that. 70 is short. Can't bring myself to take it. Now, kind of getting that second leg that we're talking about. So how do you get back in on it? You could, you know, I think that it may want to come down a little bit more here. Here's the thing. This would be my level for it to break in order to take it back up into here. But this is the value area low of the day. So, no, that's just tricky. Let's see what it wants to do down here. But I mean, this is what we were talking about just a minute ago. You wait for that two-legged pullback. There's a bullish candle on the 1 minute. Be up here at 12. Feels like I've been trading forever. It's only been 40 minutes. Just look, I'm looking at the other charts here. 5 minutes on the other charts. Are the other indices? And we're coming into this little bit of a support area, value area low. I'd be taking a buy at 11, 14,011. But it's got to come up a little bit for me. So I moved that down to where the 20 SMA is on the 5 minute. Couple levels of support down here, 20 SMA, 5 minute trend line, supporting trend line here. We're coming down to, it's getting through it. And then we've got another level down here, which is session lows. Just being patient. Again, you know, this trade right here, I would only buy it above 11, 14,111. See what it wants to do down here. Still looking for a decent trade to get in on. Just watching this thing. It's like the way that I trade is I'm waiting for some of these levels to start breaking and price really to move, and I just don't think it's going to do it today. Like my eye is waiting for these levels to break and us to fall down here to VWAP. But if I'm looking at the 60-minute chart, I mean, this candle's too bullish. Right here, look where it closed. Too strong, and it still has room to the upside on it. Where's the 20? Oh, down here's the 20 SMA on the 1 hour. Yeah, Vernon, keep after it, man. That's a good plan. And just size down. Just size down. Get the confidence back. Get some good trades going. and then you take a loss, you take a loss on a micro. It doesn't feel like the end of the world. It's also the market right now is so choppy. Not seeing anything today. I think the Ukraine stuff. Oh, there's a little LVN here. I just saw this little LVN hiding. See that there on the 1 hour? Maybe I can see it more. I don't know if I can see it more clearly. A little bit. See it there? That low volume node we're at right now. All right. So my buy area now is moving down a little bit. My resistance level. BDM, you going long or short on this thing? Both. Mm-hmm. Right here at that LVN, we have marked down the blue box. Blue box is an LVN support. We bounced off of this several times. We've got, this trend line where we are in this up channel on the day. We're in this up channel on the day. Right here, coming down to the bottom of the channel. Plus we have this LVN, low volume area on the day, session lows. Maybe we get a break of this trend line and price wants to maybe make a new high. The trend line breaks. Yeah, that's a good plan. Thinking about taking a long here. See if it makes a move down and fails and comes back up. Nah, I'm not taking this. I just had my trader spidey sense tell me not to take that. I'm reaching for something. I'm reaching for a trade and it's just not there for me. I'm glad I didn't take that. I think the price is back into this trend line now to support. This looks pretty bearish now. All right, Delta's moving lower. This now looks pretty bearish. Down here to this trend line. I don't know, guys. I'm really trying to end with a good trade here. I'm definitely feeling myself reaching for a trade. And I know it's not here. I'm just, you stare at the thing for so long. I mean, no, like when you're watching it, you kind of know what it's when it's about when it's making a move. You know, if you trade the thing long enough, you know when it's starting to make a move. And I just don't feel it down here. Maybe above 76, 20 SMA is pinching in now. You could take something up to the value area high, bouncing off the LVN. We've pinned through the 20 SMA twice on the 5-minute. Oh, thanks, Timothy. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to entertain you guys, although I do like chit-chatting here. I like talking and trying to get something happening. It's more for me too, you know. It's like but you got to learn to control that, I think. Knowing that some days there's just not going to be a trade. I can see something maybe up here, like we move up higher now. We move up to value area high. If this is a trade, it's going to come up and then come down. There'll be a pullback on it. I want to see if we can close above the 20 SMA on the 1-minute. They're starting to move now. I've never been a big guy that point of control is support and resistance. I will say that point of control on the weekly volume profile on a Friday is a big area. So if you're trading on a Friday, make sure you got a weekly volume profile up and you got that point of control up. Because I've seen, and I say this, I've said this before, I've said it before, I've seen price explode to point of control on a Friday on the weekly volume profile and then just explode away from it. And I was watching, like, I don't know, this was a while ago, a long time. I was watching one of these other live streamers and he was trading and on a Friday and he was like, oh, you see price just shoot off, you know. And I mean, everybody's got different charts, right? Everybody's got some line on their charts, some MA on one chart somewhere that price is reacting to that somebody else doesn't have. So, you know, he can't have every single line up, neither can I. But he was in shock how price was moving for, in his mind, no reason at all. And yeah, it was just the weekly point of control. I mean, if you put a million lines up on your chart, it's going to react to something. When I was trading Forex, I think I had like 4 moving averages up on my chart, and it was like you could find one price is reacting to one of them at some point on some time frame all the time. It was just a silly way to trade. So I think the best advice I got was you find the moving average that works for you, for your time frames, for your trading style. So I like the Bollinger Bands. I like the 20 SMAs. And I like having the 200 SMAs up on the higher time frames. And just leave it at that. I mean, this kind of looks messy, but I can kind of cut through a lot of the clutter in my eyes and just look at what's going on different time frames. This thing's probably going to come up and hit the upper end of the band on the 1 minute. I could have held on to this a little bit longer or even added to it, as I think it's going to come up now. And I don't know what it's going to do, actually. Yeah, chop zone. I would probably agree with that, Eddie. I often look at it for coming in, I've said this before, coming in at near value area high or value area low for price to move away from it. Particularly like within the first few minutes of the session open, like if I see price move in, like if we exploded up, we moved up, and then we start to consolidate, and then I saw point of control coming in up there, I would probably think we were going to move the other way on the open. I don't know. What time is it, guys? 9:25. So we got one last trade in there. It's okay. I don't know what this thing's going to move. I think it's got the upper end of the band here on the 1 minute. It's going to be resistance plus it's the value area low. I think that might be it for me today, guys. I'll just walk away with 368 on one contract. I think I'm okay with that on a Monday, particularly because I've been watching this thing for so long and it's just so choppy. Now it looks like it's coming down. If we broke session lows, it may want to fall down to 14,000, but I don't know. I can't watch this thing anymore. I'm gonna jump into something I regret. So I'm gonna sign off on this. I may keep it up if I end up taking any more trades later on, like in the next hour. I'll record them and throw it up on YouTube, just to kind of go over my thought process on it. But I need to step away for a little bit and kind of clear my head. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow. If you guys want to jump on the live stream, that would be awesome. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming. I really appreciate your time. And I know there's a lot of people out there doing this sort of stuff, so I appreciate you coming on this one. And cool, yeah. I'll see you then. Best of luck trading for the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, guys.